on YouTube. Um, it's also Messages from Heaven by Jaynee.net. And to get a message to me or an email, just write spiritsbyjaynee at gmail.com. I'm just home from my husband and I went to a Turkish restaurant in our neighborhood. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful. And it's Turkey is one of those countries. In fact, it is the country that was considered itself Roman way long after Rome itself had been conquered, and the what they called barbarians had taken over, and the people who took over were not like the Romans were. They took that name, but uh, what do you call it? Oh my goodness. Turkey really was the last bit of the Romans. And that huge church, that it's now a Muslim chapel or temple, Sophia Maria, Sophia something. It's people know it's this magnificent, very old, fabulous building that originally was a Christian church. I just heard on a what do you call it? One of those YouTube videos that the Muslims built it, but that it was not true. It was built by the Roman Christians and then taken over by the Muslims. Um, it eventually, when you know, the one thing about the Middle Ages, where in Western Europe and Eastern Europe too, it had the governments had ceased to exist. It became like small I don't know, territories run by somebody, and then they would fight, and no person in their governments cared about the peasants. They would just literally ride over them or kill them. They were in the way. They had no power. They were literally owned. When feudalism came into power, the serfs um, were owned, and this was right after Rome, you know, died. About I think 400 AD. It had gone on for longer than any. I'm not sure if it went on longer than the Chinese governments or the Indian, because the the information is not in the same place. Um, oh, somebody said, just know I'm a great person. Truth is, everyone is. Each of you are. Each of you is a divine person. And I found out yesterday, I know I'm interrupting this, but I found out yesterday when I did a really terrific meditation, and it gave me a connection to um, my higher self, which I can't say I really believed in, but I now have a connection. It's a little tenuous, but I do have a connection. I wanted one with my guides, but I got this, which is probably just as good. Um, I was concerned because when I do readings, I do readings, and they're whatever you feel comfortable paying or don't, because I'm not doing it for money. It's whatever is okay for you. When I do them, I feel much more comfortable hearing from my higher self, because sometimes, well, actually, frequently, I have to tell people something in the future. And I just want to know so that I'm not just bellowing it out from, like, you know, whatever. whatever I last saw in the newspaper. I want to know. I went back and back. I read someone, I think it was Friday, and it matters. I mean, it really does matter to the people involved. So I don't want to give somebody hope that shouldn't be there or expect that someone else is going to do something. Oh, hi. Hi, Cheryl. I don't want them, I don't want to tell somebody that, yes, a man is coming in, 2 months, 2 days, 2 years, and this is what he's going to look like or something, and not be sure. I want to be sure. So I checked up again twice and then wrote to her, and that felt good to me. I mean, she was very happy about it. But yes, I do the readings, and I've gotten better. I think when you're always going to get better at something. If you're a welder, the more you do it, the more you weld, the better you're going to be. It's common sense. Um, I am an artist, and I have 50 years of drawing and painting. Does that make me a great artist? No, no. Michelangelo was what you call it? He was a oh my God, he worked for a well-known painter, and I keep wanting, the word keeps going right through my brain. Anyway, the kids would start working. They would go into like an apprenticeship at about 7 years old, and they would learn to paint the way the master did. You can't today. Generally, people are not that good. We just don't have the knowledge, and we also don't have the patience. And also it's not in style. The the more abstract, a little abstract people, sort of abstract, is much liked now. So okay, that was one thing, and I was um, talking about readings. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I got on a different wig, and I like this. If you think anything about it at all, uh, tell me what you think, because I put it in a little. See this little thing in the back? I can make that, and I think it's nice and grandmotherly because I just don't feel right having long hair. I mean, I'm 77. I'm not going to be a bathing beauty, I'm like, that doesn't work well. So let me know what you think. I really like the purple. I worked very hard at this stupid stuff, putting it in that's not supposed to stay in, it's supposed to wash out, but I wanted it to stay in, so I really worked on it and worked at it. So I have two wigs like that now. And I told you I can't stand having um, places where there's no hair. It really bothers me. That that what do you call it? I'm not vain. Oh my God, that's great. And mommy, I love all of you. I love my grandchildren, and it feels like, well, the people who are my age are obviously not my grandchildren, can't be, but it is a wonderful thing to do this, and especially like I said, I wasn't raised with computers. I wasn't hardly raised with telephones. I mean, I told you there was one telephone, and it was in a special place in the house, like with a chair maybe. Uh, People didn't look at it the way it's not. It wasn't constant communication at all. There was no there. People didn't have answering machines. That didn't exist. And I told you when I was really little, there were no televisions. Um, in the 1950s, the companies in Pennsylvania and of course the American continent came out with movies and stuff, and it came on. Usually, it went off in the afternoon, and it came on at 6 or after that. The news was 15 minutes. Can you imagine the news being 15 minutes? I don't know if you can. And I know that the young people have those iPads sort of glued, you know, they don't leave their iPads. When they get in the car, the iPad is there. When they go to bed, usually the iPad is there. Um, there is good about it, but there's a lot of it's sort of bad, that there there isn't the direct communication. I used to ride my bike in the neighborhood with a couple of other kids, and we would go places that weren't really interesting. But the thing is, too, we were allowed in the stores. It wasn't like now where the owners of the stores are paranoid about kids coming in, stealing. I would never steal. I mean, I used to smell the pickles in the big, big, what do you call them? Barrels. We would go in as a couple. Oh God, a lot of stores were like that. They had the pickles and the barrels, and I could just stand there at the barrel and be like, uh, uh, loved. Oh God, I love that smell. And olives. I wasn't that crazy about those olives. Um, who's that? Sarah Levy. It's a different spelling of Levy, Levy. But yeah. So anyway, my I think I'm supposed to say this, so I will. My family, the one side of my family, not both sides, one side lived in Spain. I assume from the time the Romans were there, because that was frequently the time they came. And and they lived well with the Muslims. It was fine. The Muslims might have charged them extra taxes, but the Muslims were never going to kill them. They were never going to say, you have to do this kind of work. You're not allowed to do that. Um, they basically left the Jews alone. They were alone, alone. And I don't think that Buddha had lived yet, so I can't say anything about that. But in um, the 1400s, the area where my family lived, why am I forgetting? It's not coming to me. It's in the right hand corner. If you picture this is Spain on the right hand. I cannot. I've heard it all my life, and I just can't. It will come back, I think. Anyway, they lived there, and the Inquisition came in with the Christians, and they were torturing. My goodness, anybody who had become a Christian, who had either what they thought was Jews were becoming Christians so that they could live. They wanted. They were just doing it out of convenience. So if they could catch anybody, yeah, you got somebody who's writing me about Sephardic. Yes, um, I am half Sephardic. Uh, they tortured my whatever it was in 1492. He was tortured. I understand he was put over a grate and burned. So he came out of that, and they had to get out of Spain. And he said, um, no, there won't be any more bar mitzvahs. None. We won't practice just nothing until Israel is free. My father was the first bar mitzvah between 1492 and 1920. He was bar mitzvahed in 1920. The family, I mean, I was pretty much raised with a very loose kind of Judaism. It's mostly based on history. And now I've gotten to know my great grandfather who passed away in 1903. I don't yet know the, although I met him once, the whatever you call it, the father of the family. I haven't met him. They went from from uh, from. I keep wanting to say Geneva, and it's not Geneva. They went from there to, I believe, to not the Hague, to Holland, and they went with a lot of other families and married in and out. There were now what? Boy, oh boy, I'm having a lot of trouble. I do have aphasia, so there's a reason for me not remembering words. Um, what do you call it? Now I'm forgetting. Uh, eh, I really lost my train of thought. They went to Holland. My brother and I went there, saw the houses. We didn't see where they lived, but they went after they lived there for a while, like a couple hundred years. They went to England. We have differing accounts on what our great grandfather did, or great, because the great great had a lot of kids, and one of them was my great grandfather, who came to the United States with his two brothers. Um, I haven't yet talked to the two brothers. I have to get their names. I believe one, but they came in 1851, and I believe one of them wanted to go out west, and I think he might have been in the Northern Army, because it was a good way to do that. Although a lot of the stuff that the soldiers wore and needed, they paid for themselves. Wasn't a rich country. People were rich. That was the thing. And the idea in Europe was that the streets were paved with gold. I mean, people really thought. And the truth of that is that that was based on slave work. It would never have been so successful without the slaves picking the cotton and working with the tobacco. It wouldn't have happened, because it was basically free labor, and the people in Europe didn't know that. All they knew was you could get rich. So they were coming to America. Um, America kept moving west, took over, I think bought New Mexico, or won it. No, I think they fought for it. And California, it's sort of ironic that people are getting literally thrown out of America and sent to El Salvador when they come from Mexico into the United States, because California was theirs before these white people came from Eastern and Western Europe. It was theirs. It belonged to the Native Americans, and and they were Native Americans, actually, and Native Mexicans. Um, they owned it. They lived there, and we just took it over and weren't kind. I mean, we were horrible to the Native Americans. I mean, killed anybody, everybody, made them leave. People made them walk, I don't know how far, and uh, lots of people died on the way, couldn't do it. It was truly a Holocaust, not not recognized, and people out west don't want to give Native Americans anything. Um, just make their lives miserable. So America is right now at a turning point. We have someone who was voted in by hate. I mean, there are a lot of angry people who, aren't doing very well in their jobs, or didn't. They may have lost their pensions. Um, they they see people of color doing better than they are, and they hate it. And also, they see women, both white women of color, going to college and making money. And to them, even though you don't have to say um, anything that you don't have to look down on them, really look down on them at all, they feel that way, and it makes them resentful. The real truth is, I have a neighbor like that, and I I don't feel that way. Um, you can go to college and learn nothing. You can go to college and be an idiot. Supposedly, I don't really believe it. The Orange Man, you know who he is. He went, supposedly, he went to Fordham, I think, which is a college in sort of in New England, and I still don't remember the name. That's awful. Okay, he went to college and then he transferred to Wharton, which is one of the finest business schools in the United States. I said this before. Do you think he took the tests there? I went to school. I started late because I had my daughter. So I started when I was 23 in 1970. Um, I had been given a scholarship, which was phenomenal. I mean, there was money at that time. There really was. It was the Great Society, I think, with Lyndon B. Johnson. It was really a different time, and there was a lot of money going around to send people to school so that they could work at their level and I don't know, whatever. Um, uh, I'm forgetting. I'm losing my point. Um, okay. He was supposed to be going to school at the same time because he's about my age. He's about a year or two older, maybe. He's a baby boomer like me. Um, I don't think he took those tests. I think he hired either someone from China who was brilliant or someone from India, same thing, who actually went to classes and who knew what was going on. I mean, that was a thing in the 1970s. It wasn't just him, and I don't. It's for this is for entertainment purposes anyway, only, and it's my opinion. I do remember though the sort of scandal, but nothing usually happened. People knew that there were other people in the classes who did not take the tests. It was rumored heavily that there were other people who would come in, other people who would do the papers and the reports. So someone might come in. One of his professors said he was the stupidest student he ever had. I don't see him managing to do the work and graduating from Wharton. Yeah. So, um, yes, I think, and I remember when I was in, um, what do you call it, philosophy class, and I am so not philosophical. Show me philosophy, and I go like this. That's me in philosophy. I am really, there's a good word for it, and I can't think of it. It's really down to earth. Like, I don't know about any, I'm like, I know, I don't know what's up there or here. I can't tell you. I sort of grabbed my father-in-law, who's dead, of course, and and pushed and pulled him to tell me what it's like there. He was a smart guy, and he would know. I mean, he's there, and he really couldn't explain. So, what should I say? So I don't really know. Uh, oh, somebody, my Savia. Oh, oh, she calls her Bubba. We call in Yiddish. We call our grandmothers Bubba. My granddaughters don't call me Bubba. They call me Grandma. I was asked before the first one was born, and and thought, well, Bubba's like too old fashioned. They're not really going to like that. So I said, Grandmom, oh, Gilberdor. Wow. Anyway, I'm pronouncing it wrong. Granada. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Is that Siri? No. Sinir. Thank you. It was Granada. Yeah, that's where they left. And they intermarried with people, Abendana. They It came down to me that that was the name of the patriarch of the family, Abendana. We don't know that because my brother went this year to the Passover dinner in London, well, outside of London, and he was thrilled. He was so thrilled. He said everybody had his nose. He loved it. He has a nice nose, so everybody had his nose, and and he really liked them. He was so thrilled to be with 100 Levies, and yes, and hearts. There were hearts, and I don't know. There are certain names that my brother does know, but to the Passover dinner, it's all Levies. So yeah, and that is the story. They did eventually go to London, and I saw my great great grandfather coming out of a butcher's store with a bloody apron, but yet I heard that he worked with old metal, collecting sheet metal and stuff that people didn't need, junk, really junk. Um, but I did see him, so I don't know what I trust more when I am shown not videos, but I'm shown pictures of people or things. I trust that more than just coming out of my head. So that was him. And my great grandfather, I've said before, I saw my family in one what do you call it, meditation. I see this like 1,000. It wasn't really 1,000 in that one. It might have been like 100 people. And my great grandfather, who was in the back, jumps up, waving like this. That is my great grandfather. So he was the first one to talk back to me. One of the things I tell people, I'm telling you, if you want to talk to your dear departed, really, and you can, what you do is talk to the ceiling out loud. I did it for a long time, months. Oh, I guess it might have been 4 months, 3 months. And then he started to send me images. And now I just talk to him directly and he answers. And I drew him. I can show you the drawing. I'll show you the drawing. I'm drawing my great grandmother now, who I saw. You met, oh God, 30, 35 years ago. I have work to do over here. I do. I will do it. So this was my um, great grandfather. He lived until 1903. So he was born sometime around, I think, 1820. He was born then, and he came here with his two brothers. So, and I really do want to meet the other two brothers and find out what they did. Where they went. I can't believe that this other person is also Sephardic. And yes, my other grandparents were Ashkenazic. My grandma that I knew, my nanny, was she was her her mom was a nurse who came from Germany. It was a German Jewish family, and they loved Germany. They came before, also in the 1850s. So and they were dead before World War II, so didn't know, and probably that's good because it would have broken their hearts. They really loved the country. I don't want to keep you. I want to make it so that these talks are not very long. Um, right now, I am closed out of YouTube. I was not able to put on the very short video I did this afternoon. It was like a minute and something. I want to send an email like that or something, a message to subscribers. There are about 5,200 subscribers, and simply tell them what I'm doing and invite them to come on. If any of you can help me with that, please help me. I am an old lady. I do not know this stuff. It's foreign, and now it looks to me like I somehow signed out or was signed out of YouTube, and I don't know how to get back on. I mean, these things are uh, what's the word? They're just impossible to me. I don't know. So I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to fix it. Um, I can't advertise, which is something I do. I can't do it. Okay, so that's my plea. Please help me, please. Please, really, please. No kidding. I will pay you. I'm not. It's not free. I don't believe in having people work and then not paying them. That's not okay. I don't. I wouldn't do that. But I really do need help. It's bad. Um, and the I can't read this. What is this? Sneer Levy. Would you write to me? You may be a cousin. I don't know. You're probably not, but you're also a Levy. Just write to me. And we'll compare notes. If your family came from Granada too, they probably knew mine. I have seen, I've seen some, because I see spirits, and I can just ask. I just call spirits, and they come and tell me whatever. They answer questions and give messages. They care, and like I keep saying, talk to the ceiling. It doesn't have to be the ceiling. I mean, it can be a corner. Um, it to have them communicate with you and to get to know them, their energy, anybody, but you get to know them, and they're your friends. I mean, they're your family. These The only thing is they're people who died before you or died before you were born. Um, yes, they can be old fashioned. Um, my great grandmother and my two grandmothers were kind of, what's the word, scandalized a little bit by, what was it? Oh, my behavior, because I'm not, they never took off their clothes. There was not my grandmother was born, um, my two grandmothers were born in 1878, not the generation before, my great grandmother. I don't think they ever took off all their clothes. And I'm not saying I walk around without clothes on, but I have a different attitude. And when they saw one of my granddaughters, when I was coming home, driving home, they said together, "She's a spoiled brat." Like, "Oh, she isn't. She was 4." I mean, she was going to be 4 at that time. Their attitudes are different, but they care about me, and that's important to me. And I come from them. Um, their experiences have made me, and they're part of me. So, and I do give them a hard time sometimes, because there are things that they think are right, and I don't. It's different time, much different time. Okay. Um, yes, good, good. It's one. This was she's talking. She's going to write to me about the stuff in Granada. The Christians were horrible. I mean, honestly, the Christians were really horrible to the Jews in mostly, well, all over. They had times when they would throw the Jews, when they had the Black Death, forget it, because their assumption was, well, the Jews must have poisoned the wells. So they killed whole, whole, what do you call them? Like the whole group of people who lived in the town, all the Jewish people. They would kill everybody, throw people in the well, throw them into the fire, just stab them to death. It was really horrible. I wonder when I read that, how is there anybody left? How did anybody come through that? They weren't all in Persia, or there were a lot of Jews who went to Ethiopia, some of whom have been returned to Israel because they wanted to come back. My God, they were starving in Ethiopia. And there's still more. I have DNA from Nigeria, and there are Jews in Nigeria. Jews had to go out, had to leave. They were being attacked by everybody who conquered the area, and they were being attacked in all the nations, everyone. Germany owned a large part of the area around Germany, and then later Russia owned Ukraine and all those countries, Poland, and the Jews could only settle in certain areas. I hope I haven't missed a lot. Again, if you know anything about computers, you know about YouTube, please help me. Okay, and that's it. I love your writing to me. It's wonderful. Makes me feel really good. I am going to go do a meditation and see what more I can learn. And that's the truth. There are some really good meditations on YouTube. I'm going to do it. And okay, feel good. Have a good night. If you're in a place where it's beginning to be nighttime, or if you are like in England or France, it's already, boy, it's really late. And I think it's the next day in Australia and India. So I can't see where everybody is. And that's just so much fun to see that. Thank you so much for watching. Please push the buttons, and I don't know, come back again. That's all. I come on an awful lot, and give me ideas. Anything you want to hear about, I would really love to hear. Okay, feel good, and know that your opinion of yourself is it. No one can tell you. If you think they are, it's not really from them. They're just linking up with what you think of yourself. And okay, I came from that. It's not a big deal. It's just you'll work on it and you'll change that. You can look, it's not bad. Look in the mirror and say, I'm worthy. I'm good enough. Are you good enough? Yes, you are. You're good enough. Look at what you do. Look at what you've done. Aren't you impressed? Everybody needs rest. But look at all that you've done and give yourself credit. And then don't even think about what you want to do. Just work on loving yourself. Appreciating, that was the word I wanted. Appreciate yourself. Don't tell yourself negative things like, oh, I did it again. What a stupido. Oh, no. Everybody makes mistakes. It's often how we learn, if not always. So give yourself a break always. How would you treat your best friend? If you were your best friend, how would you treat yourself? You want to love yourself. And it takes a while. Don't worry about it. I'm 77 and I didn't learn a long time ago. It's all new. I came from hating myself and thinking I was bad. So I came from a really bad place. And you can do it. If I can do it, If I could do it, and I know you can. Okay. Love to you. Shine on yourself. Good night. To you. Oh. Oh, that's a beautiful name. Adeline. These are just gorgeous names. I know, redheaded gypsy. I know you. Okay. Have a great evening.